everyone.
Good morrow, everyone.
Good
Hello.
morrow.
Cheers. Whatever. I'm just starting this way.
I am slightly disgusted because I realized that this pillow I'm not going to be able to sleep on because Bo is doing a whole ass bath on it and it is disgusting. Anyway, before we go forward, I am Audra and this, as always, is my lovely co-host and dearest friend, emilyhanhan, whose channel
Hello,
you can
everyone.
subscribe to. All of their information is in the description box below. Things got weird, and that's who I am as a person.
As they always do.
And before
Just
we get
saying.
started, just a huge shout out to both of our patrons and our channel members. You are greatly appreciated because without y'all,
Hell yeah.
we would not be able to do the things that we do. And also, big ups to everybody who made it to movie night. That was so fun. we ended up watching The Conjuring. It was such a good time. So thank y'all. Also, huge shout out to all of you who are here in the live stream right now. If you're lurking, hi, how you doing?
We see you.
Keep lurking.
Yes.
It's fine.
Do whatever you want to do. There's no pressure. No.
It's okay for you to just like chill. And then also to everybody watching on the replay, I truly appreciate that you do that. Emily does as well, because I know it's not always easy to watch a live stream back, but we do try to, keep it in a good time frame, as well as try to, make it so that it's fun to listen to even if you weren't here to be a part of it. So thank you, everyone. And finalmente, mods, thank y'all so much for all of the work that you put in. You are greatly appreciated every single day. And also, thanks for the Audra channel. I appreciate it. It gives me a weird, you see,
appreciation. feel the appreciation is what I'm gonna say. I am the friend that I'm like, I got my friend to feel that kind of way. Success!
I know, thank you. Now I don't now I don't mind going in there. I actually look forward to going in there because I'm like, oh, I can just
yes.
So thank y'all. So tonight,
I am so excited for this topic.
I am very excited. It is Pride Month, and this is just one of the good times. There's no better time, honestly, than to talk about, media that made you go, about
a little self-realization moment, or moments, or years, or decades, whatever,
Yes. You thought you were like, oh, I'm totally straight. And then you were like, I think I was wrong.
And I love Audra giggling. I wanted to say that, because I know that this is also we are having fun, but this is also a heavier topic, and there's no shame or judgment for anything.
Correct.
Whatever made you feel something, or however it made you feel, there's not going to be any of that in the comments. We're not doing that in the chat. This is very much a safe space, but also this is another way to connect and realize oh, I'm not alone, even if I'm not connecting with the same thing that made this person realize that they were in the rainbow crew. I use the word queer a lot. If that doesn't,
I do too.
Okay, if that doesn't sit right with people, I just wanted to say that too, because I'm I'm gonna use it because it's a good umbrella term and it's something that I identify with. But there's lots and lots of spots on the spectrum, I will say.
Yeah, because I also say I'm a member of the Rainbow Coalition. So
yes.
So there's that. So with that said, Emily, would you like to share a piece of media, movie, music video, television show that awakened you?
Okay, so I have to talk about this first because this was a conversation. This kind of stemmed from the Patreon live that we had on Tuesday, and then a conversation that I had with Audra afterwards.
Yeah.
So I definitely realized that Kids in the Hall was just a moment for me. So Kids in the Hall was a sketch comedy TV show. It was based out of Canada, so Canadian humor. Wow. If whatever that means to you. The thing about that show, and when I compare it to something like SNL, which I also watched a lot, I watched regularly, in Kids in the Hall, so it was all to my knowledge at the time, men in this group, this sketch comedy group. And they would dress up as feminine characters. Mm-hmm. But it was, from my memory, it was never disrespectful. It was never played for laughs. Whereas, like, when I look back as an adult and compare it to the way SNL would, even though they had women in the cast, they would still pick, you know, Will Ferrell to play Janet. Wow, I just lost the last name. Janet Reno, things like that. So Kids in the Hall, I think, was just weird enough, just off enough, where it was like, I just felt like it was like a Canadian All That, but it was more adult than All That. It was definitely adult, but I was not an adult watching it.
Neither was I.
That was my experience with most media, to be honest. And so I think just seeing, this is kind of a spoiler to like something I realized while I was making my list, was that I didn't necessarily have to see myself. But if I saw slivers of myself, or if I just saw people being themselves and being weird and creative and everything, and like living a life that was like full of whatever full they wanted it to be, that also like helped me like find myself. And so there was something about that energy that I was like, yeah, this show was important. And thinking about like just my views, or no, I don't know what to put it that way. Anyway, my feelings about trans people, my feelings about the gender spectrum, and how there's a lot of things about gender that I'm just like, for me, it's not that serious. I think that show was a pretty big part of that process for me.
Well, yeah, because the thing about Kids in the Hall was it was very much like, so when they played, you know, female characters, it wasn't to take away any femininity from the female from a female. And that was the thing, is like SNL, I feel like more often than not, would have men play women to take away any femininity that a woman might have, and play into the like, haha, she's masculine,
and mock any traits that they had that might be considered masculine.
Yeah. So Kids in the Hall, I remember that, like, I just felt like that was a woman, when, like, you know what I mean, like whenever they're playing, like, I just didn't feel like I was watching a man try to be a woman. I felt like this was a sketch, and this was a woman, and then like this was a man, and like it was the whole thing. So I loved that.
They felt like they were actually just playing characters. They weren't playing dress up. And so that definitely like sticks with me, and just the weirdness of it all, I think also like is a big part of who I am today, wherever, like whether I'm talking about sexuality, gender, or just my identity as a whole.
Alexis just hit mine, which is Hackers. Y'all, the entire cast of Hackers. Here was the thing. I knew something was up pretty early in this movie, because it's like, you see Angelina Jolie, she's rather androgynous in this. She's like looking
androgynous, Angelina.
Yes. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Because like, yes, the thing was, she was always wearing like these kind of like racer suits. I don't even know how to put. She's like wearing these suits. Then you had Johnny Lee Miller, who just looked a lot like Angelina looked. Like they were dressing the same, and it was like, both of these people. Yes. And then you had Lord Nikon, and he is the black guy. Then you have what was his name? I can't remember right now. But like, they just, oh my God, like my whole my being was like, and then you had Razor and Blade, who were like the elite hackers. And I distinctly remember at like that age, like looking and going, I don't know if they are male or if they are female, but I like all of what is happening.
I oftentimes think of things as like, I don't care. Okay.
This was before people said like pansexual and things like that. This was before that. So before people were using this kind of terminology, I just remember seeing Razor and Blade and just being like, I need this in my life. Like, it just, that movie, and then you had Matthew Lillard in there, like it was too much. I just couldn't really like keep it together. And like the end scene where it's like they both wore dresses because they like there was a bet.
I need to rewatch it because I've seen it and I tried to today, and then like the internet was just like, nah, we're not doing that. But I will. Because I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, like both like, wow, this is going to be terrible, but also the aesthetics of it are doing
it's things terribly good, and like all the hacker fans will know this song. You should know that I love you. I love you. I love you today. Like that was like the song. Yes. I used to like play with my dolls. Like that was their romantic moment. Like that was their like romantic get together moment, was that song. That soundtrack was like my life.
Oh my gosh. I just love that. I was trying to think of like examples of androgyny for me, and I don't think I nailed down on any one in particular, but I love that conversation because I just always felt like I'm asexual, but I can still like, I still feel like admiration, or I can still enjoy the visuals of a person. And I've never enjoyed masculine, muscly bodies. I just never have. And so androgynous people, however they label themselves, like often do something to me. And so to see to see also like a group of them together, like you said, where they're like wearing the same thing, but they're different people, but they're just doing all these things. And like, of course, Bowie and Grace Jones. Oh, it's okay. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Kimberly. Like, and I just love that the chat, that was what I was also going to say. So we have some stories from some of our like mods and members, but I'm enjoying the chat. Yes, Thorn, thank you. Like, I just never. So like, I think for me too, because I was veering away from very like heteronormative attraction that women and girls were supposed to feel. A lot of my moments are definitely more feminine and woman focused, which I have no problem with. Just gonna say.
Like, here, hold on. I might actually be able to pop up an image of Razor and Blade so that y'all might know what it is I'm talking about. But like, I was desperately like losing my shit over this. So like, I was like, I don't know who I am as a person. However,
when you're just making noises and you're like, I don't know what these are, but they're just noises. Yeah.
Razor and Blade. And I was like, I need this in my life.
The hand motions. Oh my god.
I was like, I must have it. So it was just like, that was a moment for me where I was like, okay, I get it. Whoa, Jesus. Where I was like, all right, enough's enough. I'm having, whew. And again, that was before like people would call it pan. We would just say like people were bisexual at the time.
Yeah.
And even then I was like, I don't think that fits, but like I'll wear that label. But I don't think it fits because I just genuinely was like, but I just like, because the other movie that made me realize it was The Crying Game. I never understood why he was crying. I was like, what is your problem, bro? Like, she's hot. Like, I never got it. Like, I literally, like, I sat there and I was like, so what's the point of the movie? And then people would tell me, they're like, well, it's that she has a, and I'm like, okay.
I know I've seen that movie, but I don't remember the story. Like, because I just Googled it and I'm like, oh, I know those visuals, but I've forgotten the story, which is okay. I don't need a full rundown, but I do know what you mean about when you see somebody being upset and you're like, but.
Yeah. I will never forget. So they'd be like, and they're like, no, she has a, and I was like,
okay. Yeah.
And I just never got that I was supposed to be like, oh no. Like I was like, but she's hot.
Like hot is hot.
I was like, I don't like my mind couldn't like really grasp. I was like, but she's hot.
Yeah.
What's the problem? Why is he crying? Like I just didn't. I never understood it. And I spent like my lifetime. Like it took almost into like full adulthood, like somewhere in my 30s. I was like, oh, now I understand why the straights were upset. I get it now. Okay. Like,
I mean, they were wrong, but yeah.
But I just was like, oh, now I get okay. So like, I didn't get it at the time though. Thank you.
Hot is hot. Okay, I want to go into wait,
Thorn.
Yes, I know. I was
like, I literally didn't get it. Like I sat there for so long, just being like, what is this dude's problem? Like she's hot. Why is he crying? Like why is he taking the shower? I was like, I just thought it was weird. And the tune of why are you running? Why are you crying? Why are you always crying?
Okay, so Isabel, who is in the chat, gave like quite a lovely like little story of things, and it's related to one of mine. So I'm gonna go through their story, and then I'll probably talk more about the pop starlet mentioned. Okay. So let's see. And so Isabel starts to say, it's important to note that while gender and sexuality are completely separate for many people, for me, they've always been connected in complicated ways. Very relatable, but for me at least. Yeah. So Isabel is genderqueer and bi/pan. And maybe if I'd seen some actual representation in media or life as a child, I might have been able to like connect with that. But I might have been twigged that there was a reason that I wanted to be Michelangelo, the turtle, not the artist, instead of April O'Neil. While watching Captain Planet, I had a crush on both Linka and Wheeler.
Yes, same.
And that Danielle the Archer with flowing red hair disguised as a man was the character I fancied in The Flight of the Dragons. Also, the as a teen, I didn't just think Britney Spears and Sarah Michelle Gellar were really pretty. Think is an important part of that.
Yeah.
There was more than just the thinking. And then I somehow managed to look directly at myself for years and think I was A, cis, and B, only romantically and sexually attracted to men. I started reassessing and identifying as queer around a decade ago, but didn't have much clarity for what that meant for them. Now that I think about it, identifying as queer more or less coincided with me starting to work on performances that were straight up drag or drag adjacent. And separately to my performance work, David Bowie, Please See Loving the Alien music video, was my first inspiration to get into drag around 2010. That's fucking awesome.
That's amazing.
And like they go into Drag Race and Buffy while both being problematic helped penny drop for me regarding my genderqueerness around 2014. I don't fully understand why Spike, a punk vampire poet who likes hitting things and is mostly canonically hetero, is A, the queerest Buffyverse character in Isabel's opinion, and B, the piece of media that made me realize I'm trans. But Spike is. And I just love the whole story of that because there's many things that I also identified with and I will talk about. But like, I just love, again, that interconnection of like life and media and how it's not always about seeing yourself, but yet it reflects yourself to you.
My feelings are kind of hurt because Isabel chose Michelangelo. I was a Raphael fan. Like I had a pretty intense attraction to Raphael.
It's funny because I knew that Spike was going to be a part of the story. But I wasn't expecting to start with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I have much respect for that because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like
listen, we found our people. We have found our people who were like, no, but like, can we talk about this?
And then Dahlia is
a safe space to have conversations.
Bay. It is a safe space. Yes. And I think we could have a whole other stream in the future about animated cartoons or cartoons and sexuality. Yeah. Like just I just love that. I don't know. I love that the way that our brains can help us process things.
Yeah.
Even when the thing isn't specifically stating to us. Like I've always loved like art criticism or like art, like that kind of thing where you can like look at a painting and you can basically just make up whatever you want out of it. Like you're like, oh, this is the story they were telling. And if you say it convincingly enough, people will agree with you. And I feel like that's what media does for us. We're able to look at it and like pull out our own. Yes.
Listen, all I'm going to say is
when you're not
definitely our people. If you watched Beauty and the Beast and were disappointed when the Beast became a man, you were like, oh, this is not a better thing. This is not better. The other was, this is not a better situation. We are all disappointed.
Yeah.
A white man? No. Like
also, Sherry, you are welcome here, by the way. Everyone is welcome here. Like, yes, Thord, when we will time it for your calendar, okay? That's what I'm gonna say. Because I love this conversation and there are so many and okay, I'm not gonna go down that road.
Oh, look at all these people, right?
Oh again, like I didn't have the hetero man attraction, so I kind of didn't have anything in the race, but I was just like, okay, it's not a beast.
It was, listen,
and I think Spike looks kind of like a wolf, which makes it.
Maybe I'm attracted to wolf people. Anyways, you cannot objectively look at the beast and then look at the shitty, ugly man he became and think that was better. You cannot. No. He had a ponytail, y'all. A fucking ponytail. No.
Also, yes, Isabel. Okay, but can I know this is quite a sharp departure, but
go ahead. Jump.
Can I venture back to the Britney Spears?
Yes, venture.
Okay. So Isabel mentioned the Slave For You video, which I looked up, I watched again. That was literally a sweaty, sexy, 4-letter word starting with O and ending with Y. And it was really interesting to watch again because there was all kinds of people there. Like, and while there was moments in the video where there was a masculine looking person specifically eyeing Britney, it didn't really matter because everyone was just kind of, it was literally everyone was hot and sweaty.
Everyone was sweaty.
And like, yes, Britney. So here's the thing I've always said. I've never really been attracted to blondes, generally speaking. But the way Britney's energy. So for me, specifically the video Toxic. The vintage but futuristic like flight attendant outfit, then the sparkly bodysuit, then the redheaded spy.
Look at you going down the loophole.
And dirty. Again, it's the sweaty, but like there's something about Britney where like there's a lot of things that would make me say I'm not that, like that person would not do it for me. But the way her persona, the way she was produced, whatever, in that like era especially, I was just like,
that is why I say things on Twitter, which I did not expect 100-some odd people to like, which was, I said my boob sweat is elite. Like, because it is. Because it reminds me of that video where everybody's like, I'm a
It's so sweaty, and
everybody's hair is like stringy. It's
and the funniest part, the thing that I was like, oh fuck you, Britney, is like everyone is running to the rain, and she's still dancing hot and sweaty. Like everyone's running to the balcony to the rain. Yeah, I'm not that. God, I can't even say it. Not that innocent. Okay, yeah, but like, yeah, it's all the attitude and the like energy, but like both Slave for You and Toxic. And then Isabel also mentioned the Slave for You performance, which was probably a VMA, with the snake, when you're like, I want to be Britney and I want to be the snake and I want to be both of them together, and like what is human bodies, like that's what it kind of felt like.
Yeah.
People being sexy in the rain is literally my sexuality. Like, yeah, water is my happy place, so I kind of feel you on that. Yeah, like
Hi, Nicole.
Welcome to anyone that's oh yeah. Oh, Feffy says I love the Stronger music video as well. Angry Britney wearing all black. My strawberry shortcake ass was shook.
I just love that you said strawberry shortcake.
Like, I know.
Listen, here's the thing. So you said ORGY, which is so funny because I never said this to you. Howsomever, the band.
Oh no, you have mentioned.
Well, like today I didn't. So
yes,
it wasn't
no, not today. No, we didn't coordinate this.
Exactly, because our time and our clothes didn't coordinate. So like you'd have to Luda to get that one. But like but this person, Jay Gordon from ORG, how does it feel? I lost my mind. Like
it's
the whole
voice, because like the face, I don't care. But the voice,
it's the makeup. Like he was wearing makeup, and like the whole band had on makeup, and they were like they were doing like a whole weird thing at the time. It was weird at the time, like obviously. What was it, 90s? So
the growly with the makeup is definitely like, even though
like,
I'm not.
Look at all of them. They're like space creatures, like
very cyberpunk.
Very cyberpunk. The moon boots, like he's so tall, and everybody was just like, look at that. How do you like? I was like, I don't know what's happening, but I love it. Like it's just this is like, that is my motto. I don't know what's happening, but I love it.
Yes. It's like my favorite thing when I'm like, I not sure, but Thorne, you can be all of that.
Like they came out and I was just like, oh my God,
like
my whole body.
And Goth. Okay.
There. Yeah, like I feel like, we just need to like have a discussion about how Goth like doesn't have to be like dark all the time. Like
yes.
Like my soul is dark, but I can be colorful. Thank you.
Exactly.
It was just it was a mood, like that was a moment for me, because when I actually like, and it's not even that, it's the video for Stitches. Like, for those of y'all that don't know.
Fifth Element. Fifth Element. Okay, that was also a moment. Sorry.
Yes. No, you're good. Because, like, if you don't remember he's like, tie yourself to me, release my emptiness, because you're the death. Like, it was a whole thing. Like, Stitches was just, it was, y'all need to, like, I'm going to drop the link for the video into this live stream so that y'all can go see, because yes, I have seen Bound. Thank you. Good movie. That was I
love it. Rainbow Goth. That's amazing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yes, all of the noises are so good.
Like that whole album, like I would just listen to it, and like I think there's one at the end where it's like dum 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 dum. I'm like I'm if people do not, like, if you're ever wondering how I am this way, just go back to the 90s and find what would then be considered weird. the weird artists and the bands and the movies.
Again, the weird shit is what made me like. It's what's on my list. Like Beth Ditto and the Gossip. Like Beth Ditto, seeing a fat bitch is what I call. I say that in love. Seeing a fat person just like be the fucking lead singer of this soul rock country, like I think of them as a rock band, but like they have all these different influences.
Yeah.
And just like seeing the style and the energy and like literally, and I'm not trying to say this just to like, oh yeah, Mila Jovovich, but only in the Fifth Element for me personally.
Oh, I loved her in all the Resident Evils.
But I didn't watch those. Fifth Element was like the last one that I really watched. Okay. But I realized like, oh God, I was trying to have a moment of like relating it to shit from the modern moment. But literally in that Lil Nas X song that everyone loves, the devil pole dancing song that I love. Yeah. He says like, basically like, I want to screw the one night envy. Like that's sexuality in a lot of ways where it's like, do I want to be them or be with them or both? I think it might be both. Like that's always like, yeah. So the Gossip was musically like a huge fan of mine. And then Beth Ditto, I was just like, that energy. Like you could stomp my face. Okay. That's all I'm going to say.
Can I just say I had a really weird thing for Beck.
Beck had a moment of like people having some really weird shit.
Here was the thing. I saw him live in concert and Nimble. Yes. But it was kind of funny because his voice was significantly deeper than you thought it was going to be. His like speaking voice, significantly deeper than you thought it was going to be. And he was just like really chill.
Yeah, I've heard that about him, especially in like concerts.
Yeah, he just wasn't like all like I'm a rock and roll fucking superstar, like whatever. He always, his music always to me was very much like he just made music because he liked making music. Like he liked making weird sounds and he made weird sounds and he just went on with his business and like had a good time. But like was it Devils? They got a Devils in my mind. That video did something for my little brain. Oh gosh, what was it? It was like, Devil's haircut.
I don't know if I saw that. I'm sure I saw that video.
He was like walking around with a cowboy hat. In a boombox, and this was like not a time where you would have a boombox that size. And it was just, there was something about Beck that I just found fascinating because I think it was because, in my opinion, he was never like overtly masculine, and I think that maybe that's a thing that I didn't realize until like I got older, that I just don't really like hard, like very like masculine, not even the features, it's just like being
the energy. It's the energy,
masculine energy. I don't like it.
Yeah, same. I definitely agree with that about Beck. Like I haven't seen him in concert, but I've definitely like watched live performances and music videos and shit. For me, it's weird. It's like, because I can't say like, oh, like for me, a lot of thinner like women didn't do it for me. And yet I was just talking about Britney and like how, but like, it's all about, again, that energy. And so there was something with Catwoman where I was just not ever that into it. Whereas I bet if we started talking about animated, different story.
Yeah. You have another story from the crew.
Yeah. So Sharon, our lovely and wonderful Sharon, who is just the most welcoming person, shared like a chronological story. So I'm going to read it out. So I'd known a few gay people, but I didn't think of myself as gay at the time. I definitely was attracted to makeup wearing men, common theme around here. Dark siders were what we called them at the time. Goth came later. Ooh, I didn't know that. I was at a concert by a band called Thorough Muses that I suddenly felt something pretty intense. Kristen Hirsch was such an inspiration to me. I had plenty to think about after that. Like, I didn't really get much out of hetero sex, found some parts of it gruesome, but still had feelings for the guy involved. So I ended up at a lesbian. So I ended up as a lesbian identified bisexual woman. I like that label. Cool.
Yeah.
I was still attracted to some men, but but none of the bed stuff, basically. Maybe it was because of the punk or indie subculture, because it was mostly cis men. And then, let's see. Sorry, I just lost my place as I was saying. I was happy to find any woman or androgynous people I encountered. And then Riot Grrrl happened. Yep. This group was a bit younger, so I chose to firmly remain in the friend zone. I appreciate you, Sharon. That's a respectful choice. Mm-hmm. I never got to see Bikini Kill, but I did get to see Huggy Bear. One of my bands opened for Tribe 8 and another band opened for The Need. Those shows were so special, and the people in those communities were so welcoming and fun. I met some trans people in that community as well, and several years later started working as the live sound engineer for All the Pretty Horses. Fuck yeah. Sharon has had a life.
I know.
Holy shit. I learned so much about the trans experience from them. We had some interesting adventures, and I really treasured those memories. Oh, that made my heart. Like, I read this earlier, but I skimmed it, and so reading it, I'm like, oh. Like, I also think about, like, being in that moment of, like, when Riot Grrrl happened. Mm-hmm. That totally would have, like, I'm saying this kindness, that would have effed up my sexuality. Like, in that moment, if I had been there in that moment, I would have been like, everything I knew was a lie.
See, here's the thing. When I say this next one, I feel very confident that people are going to like they're going to clown me, but I literally don't care. Okay. Because you know what? This is about sharing. This is about caring.
Yes.
Shannon fucking Doherty was like, listen, y'all, when she whipped her head around and I saw her face, I was like, my being, like, my soul left my body for a second. I was like, who is this? I was enamored. I made a song, okay? And it went like this. I want to be like Shannon Doherty. I want to be so short and pretty. I love Shannon Doherty. Please don't leave.
You know what? No, because I had another one that came into my mind as I was thinking about things. And I feel like it was, maybe it was slightly before that era, but literally, again, this is me and my comedy love, watching Married with Children. I both wanted and was attracted to both Peggy and Kelly, the mother and the daughter, okay? So you said your embarrassing thing, I'll say mine. Like, there is something about, like, being just, like, that ridiculous in style and personality, where I was like, yes, I want to be that person and want to be with them. So,
it is hilarious. Like, the way that I could not, like, and then somebody said Alyssa Milano. Okay, Alyssa Milano was in, what was that movie that it was like,
was it?
Drew Barrymore, Poison Ivy? And then
I don't remember.
And then Poison Ivy 2, Alyssa Milano was in that, and I was like, oh no.
I just love how we like just drop right into the like, oh god,
no.
Yes, exactly. Life goals are life goals. Marriage is a sham, but still, like, yes.
Bye, Alexis. Have a good day.
Yes. Okay. The more we talk, the more we need to do an animated part 2, and we'll time it so that Thorin can be here, because I think about how many where I'm like, the actress didn't do it for me, but the cartoon, or the artwork, or whatever it might be. But I love that you said Shannon Doherty, because I know that's one that's like on your list. But
I watched everything with Shannon Doherty. If Shannon Doherty was in it, I would watch it. Like, I watched every show and every episode that she was in. In fact, I lost interest in 90210 as soon as they took her off of it. Like, I know that whatever she was bitchy, whatever behind the scene, I don't care. But as soon as they took her off of it, I was like, I don't even give a shit. I don't care. Where's Shannon Doherty? And they're like, oh, well, Sheila. I'm like, what's the point in the show then?
Like I'm good. I'm gonna go then. Like, Alicia Silverstone had her moment for me, but it didn't stick. Like, both, like, I don't know, it wasn't quite there. The whole blonde thing wasn't really for me.
I was always slightly creeped out about Alicia Silverstone, but I will have to tell you why in private. Like,
yeah,
she always gave me like a little bit of a like a feeling, but like, there were it's just because I feel like I had just edged above that, and so that's why it was not for me. I'm 41 years old. I almost said I was 42, and I was like, oh my god, Nancy said Aeon Flux. Okay, I know that this is a cartoon. However, how many of y'all would be like at home in the darkness, MTV's on, and it's like late night, it's like past midnight, which is when Aeon Flux would come on. All right. And you would immediately like look around and make sure that nobody could see you watching this, because this was sexual.
Okay, I did not know this, but now I want to, just having Googled it.
Oh. Not the movie with Charlize Theron.
Oh, no. I'm seeing all of it. And I will happily partake in the cartoon.
We're both sitting here like,
yeah. So, like, I know that there is a lot of misogyny with like putting any animated feminine person in like minimal clothes, but also my sexuality.
It's not just about the male gaze, babe.
Exactly. Like, yes, some man funded this, but a lot of not men are lapping it up. Okay.
Skip went into the house. Where?
Welcome.
Like, I just missed you coming
right
in.
there.
There we go.
Oh God, I'm sorry. That was like the opposite of my. Like,
I was not into Leo.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying. But no. And I was like in that age. I think it's because I was in that age when like Titanic was such a big thing. And I was just over here like, I don't get it. And I hate it.
It's another time. It's time for more confessionals. Okay. So
yes,
because Leonardo DiCaprio was brought up, which brings up Romeo and Juliet, which is a Baz Luhrmann movie, and John Leguizamo was in that movie, and I like John Leguizamo in that movie. I found John Leguizamo like ridiculously attractive in that movie.
You know what?
Movies, I like John Leguizamo. Leave me alone.
I think that's fair. Also, that album was like its own moment. That was the first CD I ever owned, like actual CD, and that album was like a sexual awakening, because it was one of the first where it was just like the like, and I saw the movie, but the album did so much more for me than the movie.
Everclear was on that album, and I had like, because I
Will Die For You song, like, yeah, so I just
remember like that whole part where like, I feel just like a local guy when I'm with the boys. We do what we want. Yes, we do what we want. I fucking love Everclear, y'all. I'm gonna have to do an Everclear video where I like music and makeup. I'm just gonna have to sit there and like,
I think I need to re-listen to that album.
And then I'm probably going to do one on the road, Romeo and Juliet sound. Like, let me write these down because I'm like trying to have ideas for music and makeup. So let me write this.
Because like that was just the drama and the whatever of it all.
And Claire Danes didn't even like him.
Yeah, whatever.
Like they didn't even like each other, and number one crush. Oh god, because like Shirley Manson, also another one of those where I was like, I don't think that I'm straight.
They're on my list. I was like, Shirley Manson and garbage. I was just like, there's no way, because again, another person I would let stomp on my face. Okay. It's all about The Rock. It's the Rock lead singers, like the Rock feminine lead singers, where I'm like, you can stomp on my face. But this also makes me think of somebody else that Isabel mentioned in a follow-up comment that was on my list, Janelle Monae.
Oh.
Because Janelle Monae and the evolution of Janelle Monae, like with Dirty Computer, with that album movie, like seeing them, in my opinion, come into their sexuality in a way that like, but I also like, I was following them from when they were really early on, and they were already androgynous and doing that like very black and white suit, like kind of like a retro look, but like retro androgynous. And in that moment, I was like, oh yes, but just like seeing this person evolve, and then the Dirty Computer, the whole experience, I was like, I have problems, and they are Janelle Monae. Like, just.
If you are ever curious why the hell I kept watching that terrible show Younger,
Janelle and Tessa. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Younger.
No, I'm going to show you. It's because of Nico Tortorella. They are fantabulous.
I don't know this person, but I am instantly intrigued.
This is them and their spouse, their partner. Please understand. A moment, please. For this is a situation where can I I'm like, oh no, creepy noises. Let's move on. So here's what happened. I was watching the show and I was like, I was curious about the person who played Josh. I was like, who is this person? Like, because I was like, I've seen them in other stuff and I feel like they always play the same character or whatever. And then I like looked them up and I was like, falling down a hole.
Not the creepy noises.
Deja, Audra to Nico, you mind if I that was I was blown away because I was ranking their smiles, like who had the best smiles on the show. You Are Not Cherry. I was also obsessed with Brittany Murphy. May she rest in peace. Obsessed.
I had a moment with Brittany, like when Clueless era, like slightly less than, which is my thing. Also, Nico Tortorella, I had to look them up myself. Okay, you're making you have made points.
Points were made. Ashley was like, call dibs on the middle. Like, yes.
Also dibs. Very, very fair. Very fair. Like, just can I say, like, I don't have to go like long into this, but I have to say that seeing John Waters' Hairspray at a very young age definitely impacted who I am as a person on multiple levels. Like, because that movie came out in 1988. I probably saw it as young as 6 or 7. It was like, I was 4 when it came out. I probably saw it that young because
listen, it was the 90s. It's fine.
Yes. No, there's no complaints. Yeah. So I just, there are just like so many moments where I'm just like, oh yeah, that definitely made a difference. That definitely, like the way Isabel talked about Drag Race and how that impacted them. I agree. Even though Drag Race is like has its shit, but I also feel kind of similarly about what Hairspray did for me. Yes, like the original.
Salma Hayek in From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh yeah.
Like I was absolutely destroyed when I saw. I was like, to this day, when she pours the booze down her leg, down her foot, shoves her toes into that man's mouth. Quentin Tarantino, who we all know is a feet freak, but let's move past that. I am not a foot person, but like every time I see that, I'm like,
because like Selma could do no wrong with that was like my original experience of just somebody where it was just the body where I was like, Tracy Lords.
I'm sorry. Okay, here's the thing, Pollyanna. I love Prince.
Yeah.
Howsomever, just a bit too short for me.
I think
that was all it was.
My thing with Prince is like I always just had like a reverence and respect for like and like appreciation, but it never translated into like sexual.
But I think it's because Prince was also one of those people that I felt like you're not supposed to perceive. So like,
yes, okay, thank you. Where I was like but they're just on like a next level, and like I'm going to appreciate.
Yes.
I would perhaps join the Church of Prince. Like that's what it is to me. Like I'm not religious, but like that's what it is for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, because Prince is one of those people where I was just like, I think that you are not like the sun. Prince was like staring at the sun.
Yes. Okay.
You know what I mean? And you're not supposed to do that, or you will fucking go blind. Like
you will literally be melted into goo. Like it just doesn't. Yeah. Okay. Can I tell a story from another regular? So from Feffy, they shared, I have a lot of this person hot, this person not a dude, moments. But as your resident romantic bitch, trademarked, by the way, paid in their dues, I would like to mention the Xena warrior princess situation.
Ooh.
Sure, Xena and Gabrielle are hot. That's sure to make one tingly. I love that word, tingly. But it's not exactly the point I want to make. I'm a romantic bitch since birth, which is hilarious because my family are the least romantic people you ever meet in your life. But I'm romantic and I am what I am. Because of that, I've been one of those filthy shipper delinquents. I love you, Pepe. You have probably been warned about. Is there a couple? Are they in love? Hell yeah, sign me the fuck up. But little me was very into the straights, also trademark, because that's what I was being fed at the time by media and my conservative ass backwards country. Needless to say, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked, in parentheses, the moment my family decided to tune into this fun little show called Xena, Warrior Princess, during tea time every day. Little Feffy was on the edge of her seat looking at this beautiful, badass lady have adventures. It was awesome. But the adventures wasn't what truly fascinated me. It was Xena's relationship with Gabrielle. Those two were close. Very close. I knew they were best friends, but they did things that not only best friends did.
They really did.
They would get in situations in which they would have to protect each other, sacrifice themselves for one another, risk it all to keep the other safe, etc. It was all very dramatic, very high stakes. The words of love and appreciation for each other were very serious. And that's when I realized that their relationship hit the same beats of those romances I loved. I was shaken to my core. Wait, does this mean that these two ladies love each other like a girl and guy do? Oh my God! Xena and Gabrielle are wives. And so I declared this fact at the table, and everyone made surprised Pikachu faces at me. And we never talked about it again. Anyway, that's the story of how young Feffy thought for the very first time that heteronormativity bad, maybe? And I want to thank Feffy for your beautiful writing, because that was like written beautifully. I had the honor of reading it. Truly, as I was reading it, I was like, you're taking me on a ride I didn't even expect. So I love that, because I love when you're like, they're hitting the same beats of the romances I know. What? Like,
and then like this one, yes, the deity in Stargate. Oh, I remember seeing, because like, let me see if I can find
the voice you just made. Like, I just love I love all of the weird, like the half noises that we make. Like, okay.
Like, yes. But you okay. You don't understand. Like this. Let me show you. Just let me see if I can pull it up properly. All right, here we are. I really hope James is asleep. Okay. Like, please don't come over here and hear like my really like
of all of the chats to like wander into. Although I bet he would have some stories.
Like,
yeah, I don't remember the show, but I remember that character.
It was the moment. Good skin. I'm like over here, like, good skin. Like, corset, wearing a corset right here. Bitch, please. Wearing a corset through most of the film. Bitch, please. Wearing a corset at every fucking, like, it was
also like everyone in a corset is a yes please from me, but androgynous bodies in corsets, there's something that's just like, okay, yes, shiny hourglass men. That's wait, like, so do you have, that was one, but do you, like, yeah, go ahead. Anyway, I'm gonna let you talk.
Well, I feel like a lot, like, I'm trying to think of, so the last one is going to be from like Waxwork, and this isn't just necessarily like just like, yeah. So here's what it was. Okay. So there's two different things. There's like this, okay, I hate that. Okay, got it. Sorry, I could not focus until I got this piece like moved off of here. But there's two parts in this movie. One of them is like a Chiquita getting eaten by a vampire, which was very sensual. And I was like, I want to be the vampire. Also, I want to be her. I want to be the vampire. I want to be her. Can I bite and be bitten at the same time? And then, then of course, there is the Marquis de Sade part where I was like, not only am I not straight, I'm kind of a freak. Like,
I don't remember what friend. Actually, I probably do remember what friend that introduced me to Marquis de Sade, and I was like, okay, well, yeah, that's part of my experience.
Oh, it was just a moment. Like, there were so many movies where it was
just a lot of movies. A lot. Actually, I feel like I had a hard time thinking of movies. I thought of more music, but go ahead. You had something.
I had like my last one, which is obviously one of my favorites. It's a horror film. Horror. The Faculty.
Somebody mentioned The Faculty earlier. They mentioned wait.
Waxwork was like a whole thing. Like I was like, don't nobody come in here because I'm having an awakening. Leave me alone. Like,
so Ashley mentioned Stokely from the faculty.
Yes,
Stokely. Remember she came out openly gay and married, and they're still together, and she's a director. Amazing. Yeah.
But like in the movie, she was like, I'm not gay, like whatever. She ends up with Sean Hatosi. But why do I still know that man's name? Like it's never going to leave my brain. Moving on. Like Stokely was in there, and Mary Beth. Loved it. Like I was there for it. Obviously, you know, Josh Hartnett, who had like that wicked weird haircut. It was a whole thing. Like it was that that also had Jordana Brewster being Jordana Brewster. Like I don't even know. Like all she really does is show up in Fast and Furious movies, and we just accept that as her career. It's fine. But like she's cute. You know what I mean? Like she has like there was one other movie she was in, which was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. But like that entire like Usher was in it. I never liked Usher though. And I feel like he had like baby face features, which I did not find attractive.
I will be honest, most of the cast that you mentioned, I'm like, nah, I'm good. But if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. I'm not. Nah.
I'm just gonna whisper one thing and see Famke Janssen.
Friends.
Listen, you're going to have to watch her in all of her horror endeavors. Because she's normally a cold-hearted bitch in those. And she's frightening.
No, I've seen those. And I do agree. But like I have less attraction to very angular people, I will say.
I like angles. Have all the fucking angles in the world. Be like, just be sharp. Be a fucking parallelogram. I'm there. Like what did I
be a fucking parallelogram.
We need to go.
I love you. Also, I just looked up who Stokely is, and I'm like, yes, I recognize them. I'm a fan. Yes, I am a fan. I just wanted to say, okay, I'm gonna say I had a couple of other random music related ones. Very pop era. I don't have to go deep, like in depth with them. Pink, early era Pink, short hair.
Yes.
That the like I'm describing as like that butch femme combo where I was like, the energy. Also,
let's get this party started. Pink.
Yes, like beginning of like anything where Pink first became popular.
Yeah,
like early. And then there was also something about any girl band or girl group. Like if you had a video of just a bunch of girls dancing around together. Like for example, I looked up that girl group Dream, the music video He Loves You Not. I don't actually think any of them are like they don't actually do anything for me, but I was just like a group of girls just all together, just dancing around looking cute. No wonder I enjoyed that. Like and then yes, it was the You Make Me Sick era. Yes, exactly. Like early. And then I really appreciated this from Thor. This was they just said this and I was like, this I think would be a good way to end off this concept and go into our animated one in the future.
Black woman, like a dark-skinned Black woman.
So Black Butler is problematic mess, but when grrrl corrected people on her pronouns, I realized, wait, you can just do that? And oops, Thorin's trans. That's it, to be honest. I already had plans to refresh my identity and leave the US, so nobody I knew it was trans, but didn't just realize I could just like come out. And they are grrrl's another. Are they wife goals or life goals? And we are team. Why not both?
Thank you. And also, before we leave, I do have Thorn's GoFundMe listed in the description box below. Yay! Please, if you can, Anything is good. Any donation is a good donation. If you can, that would be amazing.
And just click over and learn about them, if nothing else. Like,
if nothing else.
So fucking talented and kind and just an amazing human being that I'm so happy to be able to support. So that's awesome. This was so much fun.
This was amazing. Like, we're going to do this again because
this is only the beginning.
You know, I think, like, I'm going to tell you all just like a quick thing before I roll out. I'm already getting emotional trying to talk about it, but if it weren't for me interacting with Thorn, there are things like I would not have understood like how to properly communicate to people who are trans, right? Like, I was very curious for a very long time. And not properly. I felt like for so long that I was doing things wrong, right? Because I would be very infinitely curious. There was a person that I went to college with and I would see them. And I was always so curious that I was like fucking stalking the store like a fucking maniac. And so, because like they were tall, their makeup was fabulous. And I just wanted to know everything about them.
Yeah.
And, for so long, I felt like a horrible human being because I was just so curious. And then, you know, just interacting with Thorn in these random ways has made me realize that, like, I like it was good that I didn't walk up on them and be like, "Who are you? You're magic."
Thorn has like done so much as a friend, but also just as like a person on the internet, if I'm being honest. Like, just like I feel I still am unpacking transphobia every day. I'm still unlearning a lot of things, but I feel like yeah, you're right about being emotional. Like, I just things like have in a year and a half has come so far, and like in terms of how like my brain works about this stuff. And
because for a long time I thought that I was like not right for not caring if someone disclosed, and because I don't care, it makes no difference to me. I'm pan, and I like, so y'all just don't understand. Like, Thorn takes time out of their day, even when they don't necessarily, sometimes even when they don't have the spoons to like give, and they give anyway. And we're all people. It's all love. And I don't understand how you could possibly just hate people for like no reason.
You cannot understand them, but you have the opportunities to learn and grow. And you're not always going to have a Thorn in your life, but there are people out there that are doing this work and that are here. So yeah, we all have so long to go. We all have a lot to go and unlearn and but like this community, like very specific people, but all of the people like have helped me so much. Even for me, coming to terms with like, I'm non-binary. Am I a non-binary woman? I am trans, but then I'm unpacking my own stuff.
I have a lot to unpack.
Like I'm still like dealing with that, and then I'm like, oh, and that's all like all of this shit that is like all of the phobias, and so this is a weird way to put it, but you use the word. You are really an amazing shepherd, and you are an amazing teacher and friend, and I don't know how we ended on this perfectly, but I feel like this is like exactly where we needed to be.
So like, for real, like one of the reasons we wanted to do this is because, one, it's fun, but we also wanted to let you know, if you are watching this and you're having any movie or television show or like video or picture and it's waking you up, you are not alone.
And also something you saw in the past that you realize now is very problematic. It doesn't negate how it helped you progress as a person. Not.
Like, it is what it is. Enjoy, realize that there are people out there. There are resources. I will definitely try to make sure that I put some additional resources in in the description box. And I'm going to go because I don't like
I know. Crying. I'm like, okay, we've gone too far.
I love y'all so much. Thank you. I will be back on Saturday. I have a live stream that I'm gonna be popping up because I got another glassy box. We're gonna like unbox the shit and get weird. And
we'll be back next Thursday on my channel, I believe.
Yes, we'll be back next Thursday. Tuesday, we have the Patreon live stream. And I feel like next week we have another movie night, and that one will actually be Tucker and Dale versus Evil. So it's going to be a good time, y'all. And I love y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Remember, it costs $0 to be kind. It's really so good for your soul because honestly, if you don't take care of yours, I really am fucking coming for yours. Until next time, XOXO. Gothic girl.